My name's Abby. I just graduated my DPT in June, and moved back to Canada pretty much immediately after. My family, my fiance is in Canada and was here the whole time, so I was eager to get back as much as I loved Australia. So why Australia? I did my undergrad at Brock University here in Ontario, um, in kinesiology. I I think in my last year of my undergrad, I had applied to physio school in Canada. I think we all know it's quite challenging to sort of get in Canada. So as I was looking through other options, I had started looking into like my master of kinesiology, which I then applied and got into. Did that, and in that year of study at Brock University again, I decided to look at other options, which is when I came across OzTREKK. Talked to a representative there, spoke about my options for universities in Australia. Um, Upon doing some more research into Bond University itself, I really fell in love with the program. I liked that it was accelerated 2 years and still got all the clinical hours that were required to come back to Canada to work. Even just in my research, the things that stood out to me were the fact that there were connections with different sports teams in the area. I was really interested, I guess, in working with the athletic population. So knowing that they had good connections with different teams was an important thing for me to look into. And then the clinical hours as well, trying to get back into Canada to work was important. They also have the PBL, problem-based learning model, that Mac University also uses for their physio school. So a lot of collaborative education with your peers, discussing different case topics was really helpful, beneficial for learning. And that was a big draw to the course itself. Um, so why Bond? So some of the things I didn't know before I got to Bond University was how supportive the staff was. Truly, even before I got to Bond in Australia, um, I had been in contact with some of the professors. Some were eager to even help with finding accommodation. It can be a little bit challenging and daunting as a Canadian person, like just moving to a different country altogether. Um, so some professors had offered to sort of look at accommodation for us before moving to Australia. Um, yeah, meeting so many different individuals, some people from Canada, some people from the United States, and sort of building that network of peers was an incredible opportunity. Because there's so many international students, you sort of build that connection right from the get-go. Everyone's in the same boat, moving across the world basically to a different country, and not having much experience. I'd never been to Australia before moving there. So it was a bit of a change for sure. But to have that support of the different students in my course who were going through it together was excellent. Um, some of the other opportunities that are provided through Bond, I was able to go to Exos, which is an elite sporting facility in Arizona, as part of my placement opportunities. And so I worked with some NFL Combine prospects for the 2024 draft year, um, and got to be there for 10 weeks, which was incredible. Some of the other students in my course got opportunities to go to Stanford University and work with their athletics department there. There's I think now there's some pediatrics opportunities now that we're out of that sort of the COVID era. So more placements internationally as well, which are incredible. The relationships that Bond has with different facilities, universities all over the globe is really incredible. Um, but that being said, even the opportunities locally to where you are in the Gold Coast is pretty incredible as well. So yeah, some pictures here from my experience at Exos. Um, and then Australia itself, just a wonderful place. So even some of my placement opportunities, I was up in northern Queensland, Cairns, Townsville, but the opportunity to go to the Great Barrier Reef and snorkel and scuba dive. Took a weekend trip to Sydney. Some of my friends were in placement in Sydney. So I got to spend some time there, which is there's lots of places to travel and see the wildlife, and it was pretty incredible. My family even came down a few times, so we did some travel then, which was awesome.